Hello students, welcome to chemistry online classes. Surface chemistry lesson is going on. In previous lecture we have seen classification of colloids. Students, you will be remembering that we have seen three classification of colloids, and after classification of colloids, now our next topic is preparation of colloids. In this lecture I am going to teach you preparation of colloids, how colloids are prepared. After preparation of colloids, we will go for purification of colloids. Okay, so first listen the topic preparation of colloids, how different colloids are prepared. For preparation of colloids, three ways are there. Okay, first and the most important method is electrical disintegration method, which is also called as Bradig's arc method. Okay, the most important method. Second method is peptidization. Okay, so here I have highlighted electrical disintegration method or Bradig's arc method, the most important method. Second one is peptidization method, and third chemical methods are there. So let us see one by one preparation of colloids. Okay students, so first method, generally it is called as Bradig's arc method by the scientist named Bradig. Okay. Now this method, whenever asked, 2 marks question will be asked, always you should write the principle of this method. This method is based on the principle that it involves dispersion as well as condensation process. Two processes are involved here. You must use these two words, dispersion and condensation. Okay. Then this method is mainly used to make colloids of three important valuable metals: silver, gold and platinum. Okay. How this method works, let us see. See here students, Bradig's arc method, principle I have written, as it is principle you should write. It involves dispersion as well as condensation. Dispersion also takes place, condensation also takes place. Source of metals like which metals? Silver, gold and platinum are prepared by this method. Diagram is drawn here. Just look to the diagram and understand the procedure. Procedure I have not written. You should listen and write the procedure while making your notes. Now see here, silver, gold or platinum, one of the colloidal solution. If we want to prepare, which metals colloidal solve we want to prepare, that metals rod are taken. Two rods are taken, whichever colloidal solve you want to prepare based on silver, gold or platinum. These rods of metals are immersed in the dispersion medium. Here is a vessel in which dispersion medium is taken. Generally for Bradig's arc method, water is used as dispersion medium. Okay. Rods are connected to high tension batteries. Okay. Current is passed. Electric arc is struck, produced. So here red color you can see is nothing but electric arc. Electric arc is produced by immersing the rod in water or any dispersion medium. Generally water is used as dispersion medium. Now see here, this vessel, it generally kept in surrounding, you can see there is a ice bath. Okay, this vessel is kept in ice bath. Ice bath is surrounding. Okay, for cooling effect. Now see here how colloidal solve is prepared. Metal rods are dipped in dispersion medium. Electric current is passed. Electric arc is produced. Electric arc produces much amount of heat. More amount of heat is produced. That heat vaporizes the some of the metal. Okay. Due to arc produced, heat will be liberated. That heat vaporizes the metal. Now that vapors of metal get dispersed in the water or in the dispersion medium. Understanding? Dispersion takes place. Who get dispersed? Vapors of metal. Due to arc, heat will be produced. Heat vaporizes the metal, and that vapors of metal get dispersed in the dispersion medium. Now surrounding the dispersion medium, ice bath is there. and due to this cooling takes place and that hot vapors get condensed there, and that's why in principle we have written dispersion as well as condensation. First vapors get dispersed everywhere and then surrounding ice bath make it condensation. Okay, so they get condensed and finally the particles will form, that vapors will collide everywhere, and that particle size belongs to colloidal range. Like this, by Bredig-Zark method, gold sol, silver sol or platinum colloids are prepared. Okay, so I hope you understood. Bredig-Zark method, very simple method is there. Principle write down, dispersion, condensation, important words, for which metal it is used, diagram compulsory draw and explain it. Okay, explanation is also very simple. Let us move towards second method of preparation of colloids. Second method is peptization. First understand the method. Peptization method. Freshly prepared precipitate will be there. By some method, chemical method, first freshly prepared precipitate is taken. Test tube is there, imagine. In that freshly prepared precipitate is taken. Precipitate means PPT, downside whatever settles, that is called as precipitate. Then in that freshly prepared precipitate, dispersion medium is added, small amount of electrolyte is added, and then that all is shaked. After shaking, you will get colloidal solution. Like this, by peptization method, colloidal solution is prepared, and that's why the method is called as peptization, because PPT is used. Okay. So how will you define peptization? Again, important question for 2 marks. Define peptization. The process of converting freshly prepared precipitate by shaking it with dispersion medium and small amount of electrolyte. Okay, this is called as peptization. Small amount of electrolyte, whatever is used, that is called as peptizing agent. Okay, so students, let us write down what is peptization. I hope you understood. Freshly prepared PPT will be there. In that, what we have to add? Dispersion medium plus small amount of electrolyte. Shake it. By shaking, what will happen? Colloidal, that PPT get dispersed everywhere in the dispersion medium. Small amount of electrolyte will stabilize the colloidal solution. A small amount of electrolyte is used for giving stability to the colloidal solution. Electrolyte added must be very less in quantity. If electrolyte added will be by mistake more in quantity, excess, then opposite effect will be there. Colloidal solution form will start settling down. Okay, so I am repeating, small amount of electrolyte should be added. Okay, so let us write the definition. Peptization, the process of converting freshly prepared precipitate by shaking with dispersion medium and small amount of electrolyte. Students, this small amount of electrolyte is called as peptizing agent. Okay, I hope you understood the method. How exactly it happens? how that precipitate forms the colloidal solution. This much definition is enough, but little understand how that precipitate forms the colloidal solution. Now a precipitate will be at the bottom. When we'll add dispersion medium and small amount of electrolyte and shaking is done, that time that small amount of electrolyte, as you know, electrolyte has ions. Okay, it is made up of ions. Either positive or negative ions will be there. That ions will go and that ions of electrolyte get adsorbed on the surface of precipitate. Okay, that's why that precipitate will get either positive charge or negative charge based on which ion it has adsorbed. Due to this charge, that precipitate starts breaking into smaller particles, and that particles will get dispersed in the colloidal solution. Okay, so this is how peptidization takes place. Let us move towards third method, chemical methods for preparation of colloids. Chemical methods are four for preparation of colloidal solutions: double decomposition, oxidation, reduction, hydrolysis. So, if question has to be asked, they will ask prepare colloidal solution by reduction, by oxidation, by double decomposition, like these words will be used. So see to the reactions properly. So first I will write preparation of arsenious sulfide salt. Preparation of arsenious sulfide salt. This method is called as by double decomposition. By double decomposition. Students, here first arsenious sulfide formula. Arsenious sulfide, I am writing here, you prepare formula and tell me. Arsenic As, sulfide 2 minus, arsenic 3 plus. What is arsenious sulfide formula? As 2S3. Okay, this is I am writing As2S3 sol. Okay, this arsenious sulfide sol is prepared from arsenious oxide, formula C. Arsenious is there, oxide, formula, I hope you know, cross multiplication, As2O3. From arsenious oxide, As2O3 plus. Now see, arsenious oxide is there, their sulfide has to form, so we want sulfur. So H2S is added. Okay, understand? Sulfur we want, so H2S is added. Next, oxygens 3 are replaced by 3 sulfur. So we need 3 sulfur. So I am balancing it with 3 H2S. So 3 oxygens are replaced by 3 sulfurs, and this C now. 3 H2 combines with O3 and forms 3 waters. Okay, like this balanced chemical equation is expected from you. So this was preparation of arsenious sulfide, and method is known as double decomposition. So let us move towards next chemical method, preparation of sulfur sol. Okay, so students, sulfur sol, I am writing S. This is prepared by oxidation method. Now sulfur sol is prepared from sulfur dioxide, SO2 plus. H2S is passed. Okay, SO2 plus similar, H2S is passed. Students, you can tell me. Of course, sulfur sol means S, and S will form that sulfur sol. What is left? Hydrogen and oxygen. Of course, hydrogen oxygen will form water. How many oxygens are there? That many water molecules will be there. O2 So I will write here 2 waters will form. Agree? Oxygens are 2, so 2 water molecules will form. 2H2 is here, so I am writing here 2. Okay, O2, so 2 water, 2H2, so I wrote here 2. Now total sulfur became S, 2S, total 3S. Very well, you can balance the equation. Okay, like this sulfur sol is prepared by chemical method. Let us write C. Preparation of gold sol. AU. Okay, preparation of sulfur sol by oxidation and preparation of gold sol by reduction. Okay, so I will write reduction here. Gold AU I will write sol. Okay, how gold sol is prepared? See, gold sol is prepared from auric chloride. Formula you should see, auric chloride. Students, auric chloride. Gold shows AU, single plus also, 3 plus also. Single plus is RS. Here you have to take auric, so AU 3 plus. Cl minus. Cross multiply and tell me formula. AU Cl3. Okay. AuCl3 plus here aldehyde, methanol. First aldehyde is used, methanol. Methanol means HCHO and plus what? Okay, it is CHO is aldehyde functional group. First aldehyde is methanol. Okay, auric chloride plus methanol plus water. Gold will form, gold solution is prepared. Now let us see balancing. This methanol aldehyde takes oxygen and forms acid HCOOH. Cl. Aldehyde takes oxygen, forms acid. Next. So what is left to? Hydrogen and chlorine, because already AU I have written here in AU sol. HCOH plus oxygen, acid is formed. Left is hydrogen and Cl. So of course HCl will form. Now students, how many? So here I should take 2, 6 Cl. So I must take 3 acids will form. Balancing C, 2 AU will form. Okay, like this very well balanced equation you should practice. So this is how gold sol is prepared. Generally gold sol or colloidal solution is prepared by Bredig-Zark method, but there is chemical method also. Okay, but generally this method is used for gold sol. Let us move towards last one, D, preparation of ferric hydroxide sol. This is very easy by hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means students already you know. Ferric hydroxide sol is prepared by hydrolysis. Method of adding water is called as hydrolysis. So here I will write hydrolysis. As it is hydrolysis, we must add water. Ferric hydroxide sol has to be prepared. Look here. Ferric hydroxide formula, how will you tell? Ferric 3 plus Fe2 plus becomes ferrous. Take ferric hydroxide OH minus. So ferric hydroxide formula becomes Fe OH thrice Sol. Okay, ferric hydroxide Sol is prepared from ferric chloride. Formula ferric chloride FeCl3. Okay, students, here now balancing. FeCl3 became FeOH thrice, means how many OH are added? 3 OH added. 3 OH comes from 3 water because 3 water has 3H, 3 OH. Okay, so Fe plus 3 OH, FeOH thrice. Left is this. Okay, 3H combines with 3Cl to form 3HCl. Okay, so students, make practice of chemical methods. The most important are first two methods. This is how colloidal solutions are prepared. Preparation of colloidal solution by 3 ways over. Now we will see in the same lecture purification of colloidal solution. Sometime after preparation some impurities will remain. How to remove that? We will see purification of colloidal solution next topic. Like this, preparation of colloidal solutions is over by 3 ways. Now we will see purification of colloidal solution by 3 ways. Okay, preparation 3 methods, remember. Now let us move towards purification of colloidal solutions by 3 ways. Now first understand the topic. Colloidal solutions, why need purification? Okay, because in colloidal solution either two things will be there. Dissolved impurities will be there. Okay, when we are preparing colloidal solution, that means some dissolved impurities may be there. Secondly, excess electrolyte may be there. So the thing should be very clear to you. In purification, what is expected? Either there are dissolved impurities that we have to remove, or else there will be excess of electrolyte which we have to remove. Okay. Now let us see various methods of purification of colloidal solutions one by one. Okay. So before starting that, let me tell you first. I told you that there will be sometimes excess electrolyte that we have to remove. So in previous method of preparation of colloidal solution, in the peptidization method, I have told you that along with dispersion medium we should add small amount of electrolyte. Okay. By mistake, if electrolyte quantity will be more, okay, that excess electrolyte is removed in purification. Understood? How electrolyte entered in the colloidal solution? Because in preparation method itself we are adding small amount of electrolyte. Why do we add that? Because that acts as stabilizing agent. It stabilizes the colloidal solution. Electrolyte in small quantity stabilize the colloidal solution. So it is added while preparing. Now if it is added extra or excess, that should be removed. Okay. Then why it should be removed? Because it is having negative effect. For example, very well colloidal solution is prepared, but electrolyte added is little extra. Then that excess amount of electrolyte causes precipitation, coagulation, that dispersed phase will settle down, and that's why excess electrolyte should not be there. Okay, so that excess amount should only be removed. See students, we should not remove here complete electrolyte because small amount is required for stabilization of colloidal solution, and this is called as requisite minimum. Terms try to understand. Requisite minimum means what? How much is required for that stability, that much should be present, and whatever is extra amount, that should be only removed. That is called as required amount should be there, so it is called as requisite minimum. Minimum how much required should be there. Okay. So what is definition of purification of colloidal solutions? I have written here, see students, the process used for reducing the amount of impurities. I have not written removing, I have written reducing because we are not removing it totally. We are just reducing it. Reducing the amount of impurities to a requisite minimum. I hope you understood the meaning of the term requisite minimum. Minimum required should be kept there. That is called as requisite minimum. Okay. Now, what we impurities are there in colloidal solutions? I told you two things will be there. First, colloidal solution generally contain dissolved impurities. Okay, impurities are there, dissolved one, soluble, dissolved. Secondly, there will be excess amount of electrolyte. Okay, so there are three different methods for purification of colloidal solutions. Now, why three different methods are required? We will see one by one significance of every method. Three different methods are dialysis, electrodialysis and ultrafiltration. So in dialysis, you will be knowing so many times. Okay, dialysis patients will be there, kidney problem, whoever is suffering, and kidney are damaged. That time dialysis is done, very painful treatment and all. So what is exactly this dialysis? Let us see. Okay, but before I start to dialysis, teaching you dialysis, I must tell you that in dialysis is based on diffusion principle. Okay, only diffusion principle. Particles will diffuse out of the membrane. So membrane must be there. Then what type of membrane we should use for dialysis? Now students, when I started this topic of colloidal solution, that time we have compared two solution suspensions and then colloidal solution. That time I have told you that two solution particles are so small that they pass through this ordinary filter paper plus animal membrane. Okay, suspension cannot pass through both because large size will be there. Okay, and colloidal particles, I have told you that colloidal particles are in between. They are small enough that they will pass through ordinary filter paper. Okay, they will pass through ordinary filter paper. Colloidal particles are small enough so that they will pass through ordinary filter paper, but they do not pass through animal membrane or they do not pass through parchment paper. Okay, so here for dialysis either animal membrane is used or parchment paper is used. This is application of that. That's why that topic I have taken in differentiation of two solution, suspension and colloidal solution. So I hope the things are very clear. You should be knowing that colloidal particles are small enough and they can pass through very easily through ordinary filter paper, because our ordinary filter paper, whatever we are using in our chemistry lab, that pore size is large, and that's why colloidal particles will pass through, but they won't pass through the membrane which is having very small pore size, for example animal membrane or parchment paper. Okay, so let us start with dialysis. Now what is very important thing about dialysis? Okay student, 2 marks questions will be asked. Don't write any vague explanation only. Be very specific. Dialysis method is specially used for removing dissolved impurities, not for excess electrolyte. Dialysis is used, I have told you that two things will be there. Out of that, for dissolved impurities, dialysis method is used. Okay, for removing dissolved impurities. Of course, by means of diffusion. Principle of dialysis is diffusion through the membrane. Which membrane? Animal membrane or parchment paper. Next, membranes used for dialysis are called as dialyzers. Okay, the membrane whatever is used. Dialyzer can be, of course, just now I told, it can be animal membrane or it can be parchment paper. Parchment paper. Okay. Next, what is principle of dialysis? Of course, we have seen that principle of dialysis is diffusion. Now, who will diffuse out? Of course, whoever size is small, it will diffuse out. So here we know that, just now I have told you that colloidal particles do not diffuse from animal membrane. So dissolved impurities will diffuse out from the animal membrane and colloidal particles do not. So what is written here? Principle of diffusion. Dissolved substances. Substances nothing but impurities. Dissolved impurities are smaller. See correctly how principle you should write. Dissolved substances or impurities are very small, hence they can pass through membrane, but colloidal particles are large enough, and that's why they can't pass. Okay, so let us see the process of dialysis. Explanation I have not written, diagram I have drawn, and explanation I will give. Listen to it and understand the method. Whatever colloidal solution we want to dialyze, that colloidal solution is taken in this bag. Okay, this bag is made up of either animal membrane or it is made up of parchment paper. Bag is filled with colloidal solution. This bag is made up of animal membrane or parchment paper. It is suspended in a tank containing water. It is suspended in a tank containing distilled water. Continuous flow of distilled water is maintained here. You can see here water is going inside and it is going out from here. Is it? So continuous flow of distilled water is maintained. Bag is suspended in this. Now very easily you can understand that. Along with water, who will go, or through this bag, through this dialyzer, who will come out, who is small in size. And that's why dissolved impurities will come out of the membrane, come out of the dialyzer and go along with water. Dissolved impurities plus water. Dissolved impurities are like this, removed. And what is left in this bag? Of course nothing but colloidal solution. Okay, colloidal particles are large and that's why these colloidal particles do not come out of the dialyzer. So who will come out? I have shown here by red color small particles. I am showing that small particles are coming out. Okay, and these are removed. Dissolved impurities are shown by red color and colloidal particles are shown by little large in size. Okay, so I hope you understood the dialysis method very well. So students, whenever dialysis question will be asked, first thing specific you should write. It is used for removing what? Dissolved impurities. Method is based on diffusion. Okay, dialyzers are made up of what? Principle write down. Impurities small in size, so diffuse out of, but colloidal particles large enough, do not come out of the parchment paper. And procedure write down, diagram drawing is compulsory. Next, let us move towards second method of purification of colloidal solution. That second method is electrodialysis. Small difference is there in dialysis and electrodialysis, just to go on understanding. Electrodialysis, the name itself tells that electricity is used or electrical current or supply is done. Then why is it necessary? So let us see first definition of electrodialysis. I missed the definition there. Just understand the definition of electrodialysis. Okay. Ordinary dialysis method is very slow. Of course, you can understand that water is flowing, along with the flow of water that impurity should go out. So the process is, or the speed of the process is slow. So ordinary dialysis is slow process and the speed of this dialysis is increased by applying electric field. Okay, and like this speed is increased and such dialysis is called as electrodialysis. I hope students you understood the definition. What you should write in the definition of electrodialysis. Ordinary dialysis is slow, its speed is increased by applying electric field and such a dialysis is called as electrodialysis. Next, of course, principle of electrodialysis, it is used when? Okay, here we have seen that dialysis is used to remove dissolved impurities and electrolysis is student generally used for removing excess of electrolyte. Okay, among these excess electrolyte is if there and then that is removed by electrodialysis. Okay, so student here diagram I have not drawn, but look here I will tell you electrodialysis. What is extra in electrodialysis? Then electric field is applied. Here how electric field is applied? See, electrodes are attached here. Okay, electrodes are dipped in water. You can see here is cathode, negatively charged, and here I will show you anode. Positively charged. Okay, like this two electrodes are dipped in water and like this electric field is connected. Now what will happen? By electrodialysis what is removed? excess electrolyte is removed. Okay, you know that excess electrolyte means the ions will be there. Okay, so whatever electrolyte is present here, that ions will move towards oppositely charged electrode. Is it? The ions of the electrolyte will move towards or will migrate towards oppositely charged electrodes and under the influence of electric field. So the process of the speed will be more, and like this electrolyte will come out. Okay, and what is left then here? Colloidal particles or colloidal solution is left behind. Pure colloidal solution is left behind. Okay, so I hope you understood the method of electrodialysis trend. Whenever you will write the electrodialysis, that time first you should write definition, secondly you should write the principle. What is principle? This method is used when impurities are excess electrolyte. For dialysis generally dissolved impurities will be there. Here excess electrolyte will be there. Plus what you should write? Plus in principle you must mention the principle of dialysis also. So here your principle becomes, it is used when impurity is excess electrolyte and excess electrolyte particles are smaller. Excess electrolyte particles are smaller, hence can't pass through membrane, but colloidal particles are large, therefore can't pass. Do small change. Excess electrolyte particles are smaller, so electrolyte will come out, leaving behind pure colloidal solution. Okay. So electrodialysis is over. Dialysis speed up by electrodialysis. Let us move towards last method, ultrafiltration. Last method of purification of colloidal solution is ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration, why name is given, actually it is filtration only. But if filtration is carried out by using ordinary filter paper, then it is called as filtration. Whatever filter paper we will see in our chemistry lab, that is ordinary filter paper, pore size will be little large. But we know that colloidal particles easily pass through ordinary filter paper, so we should use such a filter paper which is having little smaller size, and such a special type of filter paper is called as ultra filter paper, which is used here, and that's why this filtration is called as ultrafiltration. So ultrafiltration, when is it used? When impurities are soluble. Okay, now dissolved impurities will be there, impurities we have to remove, but the things is, of course impurities should be soluble, then we'll use this method. What is principle of ultrafiltration method? I have just told you that ordinary filter paper pore size large. If you will pour colloidal solution, colloidal particles will also pass and the dissolved impurities will also pass. No use will be there. And that's why pore size of ordinary filter paper is reduced by special methods, and then ultrafilter papers are prepared. And whenever colloidal solution is poured through these ultrafilter papers, of course, who will pass? Now see students, impurities are very small. Just now we have seen 2 times. Impurity is very small size, so impurities will pass through even ultrafilter paper. But who won't pass? Colloidal particles remain suspended on the ultrafilter paper. Understanding ultrafiltration? We will pour colloidal solution. We will do filtration using ultrafilter paper. Dissolved impurities, dispersion medium will pass through the filter paper. But colloidal particles will remain on the filter paper. This is the procedure of ultrafiltration. Now you will say that madam, we want colloidal solution, but on filter paper left behind is only colloidal particles. Then what is done students? Again go to preparation. On filter paper we are having now only colloidal particles large in size. All that colloidal particles are taken, in that dispersion medium is added, small amount of electrolyte is added, and it is shaked. And like this, again that colloidal particles are converted into pure colloidal solution. Let us look here. Method I hope you understood very well. Principle understood. Colloidal particles are large, therefore remain on the filter paper. Which filter paper? Ultra filter paper. But solvent means clear dispersion medium, and soluble impurities pass through the filter paper. This is the principle you should write for ultrafiltration. Now here student, what extra you should write? Yes, you must add the point that slow process. Of course, filtration is a slow process. Now how can we increase the speed of filtration? You can do two things. Either apply pressure from upside, okay, by that filtration speed will increase, or else you can do is apply suction pump downside. Suction is applied, okay. So by suction also filtration rate can be increased, otherwise by applying pressure. So like this slow process can be made little fast. Again in ultrafiltration, little more points you should add students. How these ultrafilter papers are prepared. Okay, so preparation of ultrafilter papers. Okay, how these ultrafilter papers are prepared. Ordinary filter papers are taken first. Ordinary filter papers are students are soaked in collodion solution. Important thing. First ordinary filter paper is taken, its size is large, we have to reduce the pore size of the ordinary filter paper. So these are first soaked in one special type of solution called as collodion solution, and then afterwards that filter paper is hardening is done. Hardening is done using formaldehyde. Means what student? Filter paper becomes weak, little soft, that's why it is made hard by keeping it in formaldehyde, and then drying is done. And like this ultrafilter paper is prepared. Okay. Then here you will be having, okay, what is collodion solution? Collodion solution is one special type of solution. Okay, what is collodion solution? I will write here student. 4% solution of nitrocellulose. Okay, in a mixture of alcohol and ether. You should be knowing what is collodion solution. Okay, why to prepare, how to prepare, everything we have seen. What is collodion solution? 4% nitrocellulose solution will be there. In a mixture of alcohol and ether, it is called as collodion solution. I hope you understood all the points properly. Write down the things, because in NCERT book directly the expression will be given. Write down exactly when which method is used, what is principle of that, and diagrams and all. Okay. See you in next lecture. Thank you.